coming into hip hop, did you get any resistance at first from people? And if so, how did that play out?
I still get resistance to this day, if I'm honest. It happens all the time. I get at network events, I get when people look at me, but when they know that I can talk about Marley Marl or DITC or the Wu-Tang, then they shut up. Because that, you know, it's not, hip-hop is never about color. When hip-hop started, it came from a black struggle, but at the time, black people weren't the only people struggling within that. In the hood, you've got Latinos, Hispanics, you've got all types of people in this melting pot. It was a black struggle and it came out of that, but a lot of people were around that and helped it grow who weren't black. But people don't realize that. I still get it. Like, I used to have people come up to me and say, you're Asian, why don't you do Bhangra music? And I'm like, yo man, that's not what I grew up on. You know, it's cool at weddings, I can get my light bulb on, you know what I mean? But like, hip hop that's me. But I get it, you know, you're not black, what do you know about black struggle? I'm like, I may not know the black struggle because I'm not black, but I can sympathize with it, I can identify with it, and I can highlight it.
Go through some of the artists that you have interviewed. We've got probably like 5 minutes for you to reel out the whole list.
Okay, Russell Simmons, Ice Cube, Kanye West, Nas, Rick Ross, Fabulous, Melanie Fiona, Kerry Hilson, Kid Cudi twice, Nas twice, I think that was. Also Kanye West twice, Young Guru. Now I'm losing myself.
Method Man,
Redman, Raekwon. Who else? Damn, Estelle.
Big Sean.
Yeah, you're helping me out now. Big Sean. See, I don't even know my own site.
Birdman.
Classic. Birdman. Steve Rifkin. Those are bosses right there. I've got to tell you a story about that on camera. Who else? I think
Bumpy Knuckles.
Bumpy Knuckles, DJ Premier,
MOP,
Immortal Technique, MOP, just everyone. I've done like over, say, 200 interviews in less than 3 years, 3.6 million. Twitter numbers I stand about 3,700, give or take. Yeah, it's me.
You know, like 2,000 in, 2,000 and a half in with the subscribers.
4,000.
4,000.
4,000.
Wow.
And that's cool. Like, I don't need 20,000 people. I don't need this. Like, I've got to be the highest number. It's not always about numbers, because it's about content. Content is king. It's not numbers ain't king. It's content is king. You can have the biggest numbers in the world, but it could be the crappiest interview in the world. No one wants to hear that. You can see the numbers. That's great. That lasts for like a week. Just like artists' first week numbers last for about a week. Then you see the second week numbers and they go drop down. It's all about the quality and content of what you're creating. That's what's more right.
I mean, there's this guy called Amaru. I don't know. So, like, if you can, like, you know, when did you first meet Amaru?
When did I first meet Amaru? Yo, that's a crazy story right there. I think I first met you. I just started up, and I was asked by Live Nation to come and attend an interview Ice Cube at the Electric Ballroom. So I get there early because, you know, I have to be there early. This is like one of my first video interviews. I've got to be there early, prepare and all that. And I'm sitting in the press room, holding room. I'm talking to the Live Nation liaison there. And I see this guy just sitting there, you know, just chilling out on his BlackBerry, you know, reading the paper, looking, you know, like a boss, right? That's Amaru. And then I was talking to the Live Nation lady about how I just interviewed Nas a few days earlier, like on a Q&A conference call. And then this guy on the sofa, just his ears pricked up, went, yo, you that guy who interviewed Nas? You the only guy on that call was UK, that was you? I was like, yeah. He's, yo, I'm Amaru, and he introduced himself. And that was the first time I met Amaru. And we did the interview with Ice Cube, and obviously it did its thing, and since then we've been cool, but it was just that moment of Amaru respected what I did, because I was the only guy on that call who had spoken to Nas, who was from the UK. Everyone else was from BET, Miss Info, MTV, and I was the only UK guy. And, you know, he showed respect. So that's when I first met Amaru. I was interested.
And the funny thing about that interview is that you had a situation where you got that thing from Ice Cube about 50 Cent, and that just went crazy.
Yeah,
50 Cent actually even saw the actual interview.
Right, I took a snippet of what 50 Cent said about my Ice Cube interview, and to date it's got 500,000 views, which is crazy to me. That's just me saying what Ice Cube said and what 50 Cent said. But essentially Ice Cube in the interview said he saw 50 Cent as a future legend, and a few days later 50 Cent had a court case with his baby mother, and he was doing this video vlog, and he was just sitting there, and he's just like, yeah,
park, isn't it?
right. And I know the park because I've been in New York. I know where that is. It's like near Wall Street. I know that. So he's sitting there, he's going, yeah, like, you know, I saw this interview with Ice Cube where, you know, the guy asked him, you know, who do you think could be future legend? He said me, and that made me more inspired. I was like, what? Did 50 Cent just reference my interview? And he did, and that helped me because that helped solidify, you know, this guy can do interviews like that and reach those people. And you got to remember that I was only, what, a few months in the game? To do that is humbling.
Do you feel like in terms of the UK that there is a camaraderie of the bloggers, or is there some form of static or friction between?
In the UK, it's, how do I say it? Most people are cool when they're with you, but like, what people have to understand is I'm a journalist, so I know what you're saying about me. Like, I know. Even if you think I don't, I do. I don't think there's a camaraderie as it is in the States. But then again, the States is there's a bigger industry. You can kind of hide away, you can tuck yourself away. Whereas the UK is so small, and the industry is so small that you see the same people, and it's the same people doing the same thing. They're all in that same spot. Whereas the US is big, but they've got a camaraderie over there. They've got some sort of chemistry over there. They want to work together. They want to progress together. And over here, it's more like, yeah, I want to progress too, but I want to get the interview before you, or I want to put this up before you, I want to get the freestyle before you, I want to do this. And it's like, that's cool competition wise, but just realize why you're doing it. And remember that the music comes first, the culture comes first, and your ego comes second. That's what you always have to remember. Oh wow, you brought that up. See, people don't know, innit? Like, if they did your history, you'd see 2008 at the Wireless. Oh yeah, by the way, the only blogger there. Just thought I'd chuck that out. Just nah, I'm joking. 2008 at the Wireless, I saw Tiny Temper, and I'd obviously heard of Tiny. He had Wifey out, he had all these different songs out, and I was asked to interview him, and just the way he approached me, and his demeanor, and his persona, his presence, even at that time, it said to me, yo, this guy's gonna be somebody. So when I was interviewing, and I said to him right there, this guy's gonna be a future star. And I put it on the video, future star.